This is not something you see every day, or at least it should not be. Passengers on a flight leaving from SFO had to evacuate as smoke filled the cabin. This American Airlines flight was supposed to go to Miami around noon today, but it didn't get far. The airline says a fire sparked in a passenger's bag, and then crews worked quickly to remove it from the flight. You can see the ambulances that arrived on scene. Some people had to evacuate the plane using the emergency chutes. Our Daw Lin has been there all afternoon. He's at SFO with the very latest for us. Hi, Daw.
Hey, Julia. Yeah, it was a big scare for the evacuated passengers. And those passengers say it wasn't the fire, but it was the evacuation where some people got injured. With the laptop on the ground, investigators examined the charred backpack. They believe the laptop started a small fire, and the smoke quickly filled the cabin, causing panic among some of the passengers. Here's the pilot's mayday call to control tower.
Hello, ground. It's American 2045. We got a mayday, mayday, mayday. There's a fire in the back of the aircraft. Start the fire rescue. American 2045, you got it.
American Airlines officials say they were still at the gate. It happened around 12:15 p.m. during boarding of Flight 2045 with service from SFO to Miami. They say smoke was reported from a passenger's carry-on bag. Airline officials say some customers evacuated using the jet bridge and others jumped into the inflatable emergency slides. One evacuee tweeted, "It was desperate until someone opened the middle door and we were able to escape as we were all blocked in the hallway." Some people slightly injured. Another passenger wrote, "There was a light stampede. People were screaming, 'Fire in the back,' and rushing towards the doors." Here's a video from a witness of the aftermath. "We don't know how many passengers were inside the plane during the evacuation." An SFO spokesperson says 3 passengers reported minor injuries from the evacuation, and one of those people required medical transport.
It sounds really terrifying. I can't imagine. I'm so glad that they were on the ground when that happened. Had they been in the air, that could have been disastrous when panic sets in and people aren't sure what's going on.
American Airlines passenger Sharon Streets and her coworker Terry Downey Fryman are waiting for their flight. They say they're glad no one was seriously hurt.
I can't believe it happened.
Yeah.
I don't want it happening on my flight. But I don't ever think of that. I mean, I have a laptop, sure. And you figure it's safe because you've used it forever, but sometimes they do get hot.
After this incident, they say they will pay close attention to their laptop bags.
No one thinks about that. I don't even put it in sleep mode. I just close it sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a new thing we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, many of those passengers are still here at SFO beyond the security checkpoint. Their flight, as mentioned, was supposed to leave at 12:17 p.m. this afternoon. Now it's been pushed back to 11:15 p.m. tonight, going to Miami. A big inconvenience, but obviously the good news is no major injuries. Live in SFO, Juliette, I'll send it back to you.
Joining us now is former head of the NTSB, Robert Sumwalt. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's just begin. When someone notices a fire on the plane, what is the procedure for the pilots, for the flight attendants, and did they follow correct protocol?
Well, certainly a fire on an airplane has the potential to be really bad. And so you want to make sure that you can get that fire under control as quickly as you can. And in this case, I listened to the air traffic control tapes, and the pilots immediately called for the fire trucks, the airport rescue and firefighting facilities, and someone started an evacuation.
Is it normal for emergency chutes to be deployed at the gate when passengers need to be evacuated?
Well, I have here an Airbus A321, just like the one involved in the event. As you can see, there are 4 exits on each side of the airplane. The airplane apparently was still at the gate. So, I think it's imperative that people get off of the airplane as quickly as they can and as safely as they can. And I want to underscore the importance of leaving your luggage behind.
Yeah, that's a key. Don't grab it, just get out, be safe. Let's talk about lithium batteries. The FAA has investigated at least 30 lithium battery incidents in the first half of the year, more than 500 since 2006. So how equipped are airlines to put out these fires?
Well, a lithium-ion battery fire can be very hard to put out. The flight attendants are trained to deal with it, but again, they can be quite a handful to put out. Passengers can take measures to make sure that the fires don't ever even start, and we can talk about those in just a moment.
Yeah, lithium batteries are banned from going in the cargo hold because of those dangerous fires. So, what can passengers do and keep in mind when they are packing their luggage?
Well, that's a really good consideration right there. Sometimes we don't even realize we have these things because everybody's got these little battery chargers now to power our extra sources of power for our batteries, for our iPhones and things like that. So you inadvertently stick it in your suitcase without even thinking. I almost did it the other day coming back from Washington. I was doing some work for the network, and I had a little Zoom light, and I about put it in my suitcase. But no, I realized no, it's got to stick with me on board the airplane, not down in the cargo hold with my suitcase.
Note to self, we want to get to the destination safely. All right, Robert, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Always helpful information.